Hello everyone, my name is Lowko and welcome back to Chronicle RuneScape Legends. Today we're gonna be checking out Vanescula, the new legend that got added into the game, or at the very least, she's new to me. A few months ago I checked out the game when it was still in beta. It since then has been released. You can now download it off of Steam and whatnot as well, which is awesome. I really enjoyed playing the game back then, and recently the developers of the game reached out to me and asked if I wanted to be making some more sponsored content. So this is part of that sponsored content, but just to be 100% transparent with you guys as well, but I'm gonna obviously give you my honest opinion about what is going on in the game, and honestly, I've been having an absolute blast so far. So this is gonna be a trading card game. It's a game that, you know, probably some of you have seen before if you've been scouring the internet as of late whatsoever. It's actually really good. When I was first starting it up, when I first started playing about a half year ago or so, I actually was a little bit afraid that it would be very similar to Hearthstone, but it's not. It's very different. And in this video, I'm gonna try and cover most of the basics of the game as well. So this is gonna be the deck that we're gonna be running with today. It's very important to pause the screen right now if you want to give this deck a try, because the only paid card, or like the only crafted card that I got in here is gonna be Vyrewatch. I spent absolutely no money myself in it. It is going to be a free-to-play game. If you're interested in trying it out, there's a link down below in the description of the video. Either way though, if you want to be playing with the Vampire, I would highly recommend giving this deck a try because it's awesome. It works very beautifully, and as you can see, I called the deck Lifesteal. You'll figure out why that is in just a second. In this video, I'm gonna be playing against the AI. We're gonna be playing against the silver AI right here. Obviously, you can go up against other players as well, but just because I need a little bit more time every turn to explain to you what exactly is going on, I'll get the infinite time that I get by playing against the AI, and I guess for the first game, we'll just go up against the Raptor. We'll select our deck, known as Lifesteal. Alrighty, so here we are in the actual game. Now, Vanescula is quite unique in the fact that she runs a little bit differently than the other legends do. She basically has this really unique thing known as Mortal, and this is a good example of it right here, the Alpha Werewolf. Mortal deals 8 damage to your rival, which is going to be my opponent. However, it only deals 4 damage to my rival if I am not Mortal. And Mortal basically means that I am below 50% of my total health, that I am below 15 health in total. Now, just like is in many other card games as well, we basically start off with a base life, and my opponent will as well. But unique to this game is that rather than directly playing against our opponent's card, we're going to be playing against her own. I'm going to try and explain everything to you what is going on. Now here we are at the very opening of the game. In total, we have a maximum of 7 cards since we are going second. We have a total of 7 cards right here from the get-go, and I can remove the ones that I don't really want. So in this particular case, I don't really want the Jubbly Bird. I don't really want the Werewolf Rebel either. I may be keeping Hunger here for a little bit longer just because I can, and I don't really want Romily either, but we do want to keep the Alpha Werewolf. I'll just go ahead and get rid of those, draw some new ones, and we will go from there. Now welcome to chapter number 1. This game basically runs in different kinds of chapters. We're currently in chapter 1 out of a maximum of 5. I will win if I manage to get my opponent's HP, which you can see right here at the top side of the screen, down to 0, or if I, which obviously is not gonna happen, or if I get my own health down to 0 as well. The cool thing about this game and what makes it so unique is that we can play up to 4 cards every single turn, and every single, turn that we play, we get 3 new cards that we get as well. But the cool thing about it is that we are going up against our own cards. That is really something that I haven't seen in very many games before yet, and honestly, it's an absolute blast. It's an absolute blast. Alright, so I got the Alpha Werewolf. Like I said, it deals damage to my rival, but it deals even more damage if I myself am below 15 health. So one of the cool things I can do is play the Alpha Werewolf right from the get-go. And what will happen is that my hero, who is standing right here to the left, will encounter this werewolf. Now as you can see, the werewolf in total has 5 life, and it will be able to do 8 damage per swing. My current base attack, and all of the base attack of all heroes in the game when you first start out, is going to be 2. So what will happen, as first strike is always going to go in my advantage, is I will hit the werewolf once, which will reduce it to 3 HP. Then it will hit me, reducing me obviously by 8 to 22. Then I will hit it again. He will reduce me to 14, and then I will be able to kill the Alpha Werewolf. Now notice, the effect of this card will be the mortal, the mortal effect. If I manage to play this right from the get-go, as I will end up at a lower than 15 HP mark. And that's the cool thing I like about the Vampire a lot, about Vanescula. She basically hovers around, you know, 15 HP for quite a while, sometimes even drop down to like 10 or 8 HP, I've noticed. But then she can actually steal her life all the way back up to full health with this deck. And that's exactly what we're gonna try and do here. So this will bring me down to a little bit of a lower HP. That is something I need to be keeping in mind. But obviously I can be playing more cards. And since I will be drawing into more cards by the next chapter as well, obviously things should be working out in my favor. And I can get some cards that will allow me to get some lives too as well. Now at the top side of the card, you can notice as well how much damage the imp, for example, will be able to do. But at the bottom, you can also see the result you get from it. So besides the Mischievious Imp drawing me a single card, it will also reward me with gold. Now gold basically is played when, for example, you want to go ahead and play Hunger. Hunger costs me 2 gold in total. In the top side right here, it says the cost, but it will reward me with an additional 1 base attack. So what I can do is first play the Mischievious Imp, which will, you know, obviously get 1 shot, as I will be doing 2 damage right from the get-go. I will draw a card, get a single gold. Then I'll take some damage from the Alpha Werewolf, do 8 damage to my opponent, and then also be rewarded with 1 additional gold. Then I can go ahead and play the Hunger, which will remove 5 of my health once again, which obviously isn't too great. But then we can also go ahead and play the Jubbly Bird. Jubbly Bird is a pretty interesting one. I'm mostly just trying to get some extra card draw going. I could also go ahead and decide to play Morrisane here, which will reward me with more gold. However, as you can see, besides the Jubbly Bird giving me 1 gold back, it also gives me 3 HP. And obviously, after playing the Hunger, I will be at 3 attack anyway. And what will happen is that I will sort of go on this questing adventure in chapter number 1 with my hero. Now, so far what will happen is I first will kill the imp, then I will do the mortal damage to my enemy, drop down below 15 HP myself, remove 5 more of my health, but then heal myself back up a little bit again, right? The issue obviously is here that my opponent will also be playing cards, and there are gonna be effects that my opponent can play that will make things a little bit more messy. Let's say my opponent, for example, would be playing the thief known as Ozan. There will be a chance that he steals gold from me in the 2nd or 3rd spot. And that means that I wouldn't be able to pay for Hunger, at which point I'll also be hit by the Jubbly Bird. I hope it makes some sense. It gets a little bit complicated right from the get-go, but I'm sure you will get the hang of it once you see this a couple of times. So there we go. As you can see, my opponent is gonna be playing first. It's basically just a coin toss. He was allowed to play first. I draw into one of my healing cards, which is great. My opponent, once again, is gonna be taking a little bit of damage here in favor of drawing 2 cards, which is great for him. But here is where the interesting aspect happens, and this is where the hero, or the legend rather, that we are currently playing is quite unique. We drop down to 14 HP, we gain ourselves 1 gold, and we are doing 8 damage to our opponent. And you can see the rival's health is already starting to actually drop quite low. Now, as you can see, one of the unique things about the Raptor, for example, is that the Raptor really focuses on trying to get a sick amount of armor. As you can see, besides the health pool right here at the top of the screen, you have the rival's armor as well. And the armor, obviously, generally speaking, if I hit him right from the get-go, right? If I, for example, duo with him at this point, I will start chipping away at that armor first. But the cool thing about this hero instead is that I will be able to steal health from him. And health is a really important aspect here. For example, if I play the Vyrewatch, I will steal up to 5 health from my rival, which means I take his health and add it to my own. But it doesn't go through the armor pit. So there are some cool options that we have right here. I am gonna need to get a little bit more gold before I can play the Vyrewatch. And that's the only card, by the way, that we did craft for this deck. I can, for example, play Morrisane. Can play both of them, actually. Then play the Vyrewatch. And obviously this will put me up to 1 gold, and then it's 4, and then it's 7. And then I can also heal myself back up with the Romily Weaklax right here. I could also, however, decide to go for the lethal here. As you may notice, what will happen is that I will I will take the money from Morrisane, which is great. Put me up to quite a bunch of gold. Pay for the Vyrewatch, which will discard one of my random opponent's hands, but it will also steal 5 gold from him. Then I get hit once only by the werewolf this time around, as I'm currently at 3 attack. And it will do 8 damage to him still. I think this should work out perfectly. And I may very well assume here that we're going to be able to pick up the victory. It kind of depends, obviously, on what exactly my opponent wants to be doing here. I could also be losing if he, for example, spends all of his armor to do damage to me. I'm pretty low in HP myself. So far, it's looking pretty good, though. we're gonna be able to steal quite a little bit of life from my opponent, which is great. He's taking more and more damage, which is great for me. And at this point, as you can see, the Vyrewatch will be activated. I will steal up to 5 health from my opponent, adding it to my own. And now he's currently only at 1 HP. He discards the Dagganoth. He's actually gonna start healing up. Wow. But we should still be just barely okay. He healed up to 8 HP. But we will be able to do extra damage because we took the risk and we're below 15 HP. So far so good. We managed to grab the very first victory. But let's see if we can do it again. This time around, I'm gonna go ahead and select ranked. Now please note, I've only played ranked for about an hour or so, so we're definitely pretty low up on the ladder. But at the very least, we'll go up against another real player. And one important thing to keep in mind with that is that, well, first off, he's a much higher level than I am, which is a little bit scary. But secondly, we have a limited amount of time to make our turn. So we're gonna have to play a little bit quicker, a little bit smarter here as well.
First, as I should be.
Sadly, I didn't get my KGP Agent, which won't give me any kind of additional attack here. I may very well just keep one of the werewolves here. Don't want Romily either. But I'll go ahead and keep Gorge as well as the Vyrewatch here. Now, please note, I am by no means super great at this game just yet, but I've been having an absolute blast playing it for the most part. I'll go ahead and play the Alpha Werewolf again. We'll one-shot the Scorpion then as a follow-up as well. And I could go ahead and play something else if I really wanted to. I gotta be careful though that I don't lose too much. So I'm just gonna go ahead and play 2 cards. Now keep in mind here, right? I'm now up against a real player. I am now up against a real player, which means that I have to be a lot more careful about my decision making. I don't need to play 4 cards all at once. I can definitely also try and set up for a stronger play in the next turn. And it looks like, you know, my opponent decided to play a little bit more than just 2 cards. He actually does have a third and as well as a 4th one. Remove your random... okay, remove your opponent's random thing and then also deals 2 damage to your rival. As you may have already imagined, I don't have any of the super fancy cards. I don't have any of the paid cards. It does seem, this game by the way is free to play. You can purchase card packs if you want to, just like in any other card game really. It does seem that many of these cards are really powerful. So far sadly, I'm not really getting anything that helps me out a ton. We can play the Sapless or the Sap Life Force, which will steal up to 2 health from my next creature. So that means I basically heal up. It's rather okay. Then we can play the Wolf as well. I'm a little bit worried though that I'm gonna be too low in HP. So what I can do is play the Skeleton Warrior, which is a little bit of a risk. I can also play... How much do I need for that? Can I play it like this? No, it's just barely not gonna work out. I can also play Gorge, which will steal a bunch of health from my opponent. It's more so than 5 HP. It's basically a toss-up here. I'm actually gonna go ahead and pick a Vyrewatch. It's a little bit more of a risk, but I think we should be alright here. So we're gonna steal some health from the wolf. Should be okay. He's actually healing up like crazy. Look at him. He knows that I am capable of dealing a lot of burst damage, which is more than okay. Now we'll take a beating here from the Skeleton Warrior. That's okay. And by the way, I wouldn't say that this game is paid to win, but some of the paid cards definitely are very good. I've gone up against people that have insanely powerful decks, which just make it super difficult to really, you know, do anything against them. And so far, I'm a little bit worried about what exactly is going on. We did just discard the Sarodaming Gorge Sword of him, which is pretty good, but he didn't have that much money to begin with anyway. Now, there is a lot of strategy in this game, and that's what I love about it. There's a ton of strategy, and there's a lot of thought behind every move that you make. Not just with the order of the cards, but also when you imagine the plays that your opponent could be making next up. Now, so far, I'm really not getting the nice traits that I was looking for. I'm really not getting very much here. I was hoping that I would be capable of getting the KGP Agent right from the get-go here, but I don't have very much, you know, very much HP here anymore. I'm gonna take 1 damage here, which will heal me up to 16, and then I'll steal some health from my opponent as well. I think this is really the only play that I can make now. One thing to note, by the way, about the way you approach these kind of games is that, like I said, you don't need to be playing all of the cards all at once. You can just play a couple as well, which is honestly one of the easiest, one of the most important things to keep in mind. I kept playing all of my cards constantly, which definitely wasn't a bad decision, but it wasn't the greatest either. Now, one other thing to keep in mind is that all of the classes you're going up against, and as you can see, we're both only playing 2 cards there. All of the classes that you're going up against have different specialties. Now, you may be wondering, what happens after the 5th chapter, right? What happens after you get, you know, to the very final chapter? At that point, you will basically face off against each other. That is not where I want to be. That is not what I want to have happen here. So I can play the KGP Agent, which is what I was hoping I would get previously. I sadly don't have enough gold here. If I could play either Gorge or Vyrewatch, I would be in a great spot. But sadly, very little gold generation right now. Normally, you want to be playing the KGP Agent right at the beginning. It will discard one of my random cards. He just played it as well. But it will grant you an additional 1 attack. And the thing my opponent is looking for right now, he is trying to get the highest and like the strongest cards he can get, or the strongest basic attack. At which point he can murder me in the next chapter, or after the next chapter ends. A little bit worried about it, to be completely honest. While we're stealing a lot of HP from him, I really don't want to be facing him off in a 1 versus 1. While we will be striking first in the final battle, because we did coin flip to the, you know, the top one, I'm a little bit worried about how this will play out. Okay, well, here's the final turn here. Hope I'm gonna draw into something that will give me some additional,
The end is nigh.
Oof. Okay, so we can play the KGP Agent. We can also definitely play the Werewolf. We'll also steal some life from my opponent, which is pretty good. Question is, do I want more damage here? There's only... Okay, so what will happen? I will be at 4 attack. Next up, I don't think I want to be removing that HP. I wish I had a heal here. I think I want to be playing the Hunger here, because it's not going to be helping me out anymore at this point in the game. We'll just have to hope that somehow, some way, my opponent is not going to be doing the right thing here, but I don't think that's going to be happening. Pretty certain that, because we managed to get to the final one, and he got all kinds of fancy cards here, but we managed to get to the final turn, we're not gonna be in that great of a spot anymore. It's all about stealing the life while the game is happening, and this is what he was going for, right? This is what he was trying to achieve. We don't have any weapons ourselves. He has been declining our weapon to the best of his abilities. And, well, at this point in time, we're sadly gonna be facing off in a 1 versus 1. I'll slam him to the best of my abilities, hit him again. But sadly, this is gonna be game over. Alrighty, it's time for another opponent. Obviously, we'll need to redeem ourselves after losing like that. Can't really let that happen. Oh. Looks like we get to go first. That's alright. This time around, we got the KGP Agent first, which is really nice. Don't really want the Haunted Leech just now. Don't really want the Sap Life Force either. I don't really want Romily either. I think I'm gonna get rid of the Imp too, because what I'm really looking for here, I will keep the Troll Tracker just in case, but I'm really looking here for the Werewolf. The Alpha Werewolf, that is. Although this definitely isn't bad either, though. Obviously, we do need to make sure we start generating a little bit of gold. I can play the Troll Trackers just like that. Question is, Jubbly Bird or Scorpion? Considering I have a lot of cards that cost me gold, I think it makes more sense for this. Don't really need to kill him super early on. So, the opponent I'm going up against this time around is called Ozan. And Ozan the Thief steals gold. And, like, multiplies his own gold. And he does all kinds of other things with gold. It's rather annoying because sometimes he, like, you know, you get the exact amount you need to pay for the next card that will come out on the board. And then he just randomly steals all of it, right? Not that great. Not that great. He also does have the Pyramid Plunder, which will give me some additional income myself as well. Which also obviously helps me out. He gains 4 for that himself. But he's already, you know, he's already got 10 gold here. A little bit scary. So he's actually helping me remove some of my health, which is great. I would like to be mortal. So far, so good. Got quite a lot of gold here. Now, no matter what, you always draw 3 cards. Unless you play a card that will give you some more. I don't need to be playing all the cards all at once. Don't think I want to be playing, or I don't really want to be playing the KGP Agent, to be honest. I don't really want to be playing any more cards than this. So far though, he's already starting to take quite a lot of damage. Ooh, he's getting himself a Seradoming Godsword, one of the strongest weapons, if not the strongest weapon in the game. I haven't actually come across anything better than that. He only has 2 durability, but for those 2 turns, he will be getting himself up to 9 damage right now. He's gonna be doing some damage to me. This does make me mortal, by the way, which is good. And he's also dealing more and more damage to me. Oh man. Oh man. We're only at 9 HP. We need to start drawing a little bit of life. I got 10 gold here.
I am weakened. I must feed soon.
Okay, well, first off we'll play him. We'll go ahead and play him as well. After the Jubbly Bird, because that will grant me with 3 additional HP. And I would like to play the KGP Agent just in case. I would also like to play the Sap Life Force, because it will grant me 2 additional healing. I'm a little bit worried of losing my HP.
It's decided.
So what I'll do instead is play it like this. Yeah, this should work out. I'm gonna one-shot all of these minions anyway, but I will be able to start stealing some life, which is really helpful. And it should at the very least keep me alive this turn. I don't want to be losing the chapter. That would not be good. Now he keeps on ticking away at me. He's got some really powerful cards that I all don't have. He's taking a lot of damage for this one himself as well though. And it looks like he made a little bit of a miscalculation, which happens every now and then. We pick up a victory. Nice. Alrighty. We're going up against Linza. Linza the blacksmith works on getting the biggest weapon she can find. Now, like I said, this game is completely free to play. If you want to go ahead and check it out, there's a link down below in the description of the video. I'll put it in the top lines of the description so you guys can quite easily find it.
No need to rush.
You know what? I'm gonna get rid of all of these. I want to get rid of all of these. But if you want to give it a try, I would highly recommend checking it out. It's free to play. There's really nothing to lose in that regard. And it's an absolute blast. I've been having a great time playing so far. I'm not gonna lie. Alrighty, so we get double KGP Agent. A little bit scary, to be honest. Sadly, I've not been getting my Alpha Wolf here for a while. Really would have liked to see this. Looks like my opponent is taking a little bit more time to go ahead and grab their opening set of cards as well. But here we go. Alrighty. So we'll play one of the KGP Agents here for sure. Drubble, Troll Chucker. And I could play the Haunted Leech. I don't want to really remove 2 of my HP, so I'll play Hunger instead. I'll remove some of my own HP, but it will grant me for 2 gold, 5, or 1 additional attack after losing 5 attack. Or after losing 5 HP. This is pretty good. You can discard the other KGP. Okay, well, 1 Haunted Leech. I had a second one in hand, so it's alright. As you can see though, she's starting to take quite a bunch of damage here already. I'm playing the double Troll Chucker here, which will both deal 4 damage to my rival. And she's gonna start dropping low in HP right from the get-go. Now I want to make sure I get close to mortal once again, just in case I do draw into my main cards. So far so good though. It was a good first turn for sure. We don't have that much gold, so hopefully we'll get something to draw into some. But yeah, I love the fact that there's like no randomness in this game whatsoever. Everything is decided about, you know, by you making the right decisions, and very little so by random number generators, right? Considering I don't have my mortal cards in hand at the moment, I think I'm gonna force a discard on Romily Weaklax. I will already two-shot it no matter what. So first off, right? This will bring me down to 23 HP. Yeah, this should bring me up to 29 total. And I will discard Romily Weaklax, which is good. This will bring me back up to 29 HP. if I'm not mistaken, if I did all my math correctly. Like I said, the stealing part of the game is pretty important, because if you randomly give up your HP, and you're, for example, at full HP and then play a steal like health card, it will immediately steal absolutely 0 and therefore also deal 0 damage to your opponent. Pretty important to keep in mind here. So for example, if I tried healing up right here at 30 HP, the flying leech would only be doing, you know, 0 damage. But in this case, since I can't be healed up, I think this is helping out. Now, like I said, we gotta be a little bit careful. Alright, I'm actually forgot about the fact that it will hit me back once. We gotta be a little bit careful here. That we don't let her build up a huge weapon. I have no way of getting rid of her weapon. I'm running no cards that actually allow me to kill her like that. So if I draw into my werewolves right now, that would be really useful. Oh, this is also actually rather good. I can just steal some gold from her. Or that actually... Alright. So here's where a little bit of strategy comes in, right? I kind of want to be hit by her. Like I said, I can only heal up right now to a maximum of 30 HP. So that means I can only steal, you know, 3 HP from her at this point in time. There's a bigger chance if I play the Vyrewatch at last that I will be hit by her at least a single time, right? Now, I do need a little bit more gold for it. As you can see, this card will cost me 5 gold. So I'm playing the Skeleton Warrior first, just to make sure that I'm trying to be smart about the situation. I highly doubt she's going to be able to nuke me down, though, from like a, you know, a high amount of HP to 0. She's starting to really build up the strength of that weapon. As you can see, like, she's already built it up to 9 attack. 10 attack, that is, right now. And she'll be able to strike me several times. But she's extremely low in HP. Sadly, I only get to steal 3 HP from her right now. She gets the Mage of Zamorak taken out, which is basically a free hit against me, which is good. Like, a really important card to get rid of. She didn't really have the gold for it, I guess, but... This is going to be chapter 4. Yeah. I would like to be able to play Gorge in the next turn, but I think we're just gonna do it like this. Got very little other plays to make here. Don't really need to play the Sap Life Force nor the Gorge here, because I'm already at full HP, nor the Jubbly Bird in that matter, or for that matter. I think I'm maybe playing a little bit too, like, greedy with playing all the cards. Like, I always try and fill up all 4 of the slots, and that's probably one of the biggest, you know, rookie mistakes you can be making in this particular game. Only got 3 cards in hand right now, as you can see right there. Pretty helpful, by the way, the little counter. My opponent is 8, which you can also see right there in the top right. Now, she's not made a decision just yet. And obviously the timer will run out eventually. I don't know if she put any kind of cards out on the board. That would be unfortunate. Oh yeah, there are cards out on board, that's good. Oh man, she's drawing up. And she actually did end up playing 4 cards, I believe. That's quite a lot. Oh man. This is one of the strongest attacks in the game. Pulverize. Dealing 16 damage to me, just like that. She's gonna be replacing the weapon that she had here. Not entirely sure if she wanted to do that, but... At the very least, we can start stealing some HP again, right? We can start stealing some HP again, and I am close to... I'm mortal at this point, so if I draw into my Alpha Wolves, it will basically be lethal right here. Ooh. Well, would you look at that? That will do 8 damage to my opponent. Thing though, she will always play first, right? She will always play first. Really important to keep in mind here. So she could definitely hit me again. Like, if she has another Pulverize, that would be it. That would be game over for me. Because she's allowed to play first. That said, this doesn't necessarily work out like that. I'm gonna need to... Oh man, this is gonna be risky. Pretty sure though, this should work out in my favor just fine. Well, there's no reason for me to play these other cards.
It's decided.
Here goes nothing though. I'm secretly hoping that she doesn't get any self-heal off or any kind of, you know, damage to my face. If she gets another Pulverize out, that will do 8 damage to me right now, which actually would still end up being alright. Considering I'm gonna steal damage, or I'm gonna steal health from her in the second turn, I think this will be alright. If I'm not mistaken, Pulverize deals damage twice to the amount of rifles, or like of the weapon damage that, you know, she has. Looks like I'm gonna be okay. Here we go. Since we are mortal, we will be able to obtain victory by just simply stealing a life from our opponent. Alrighty, and that is gonna be it for this video. I am gonna be uploading more Chronicle videos over the next week or two, by the way. So if you are interested, do make sure you hit that subscribe button so you get a notification as soon as I do upload more. And other than that, I want to thank you all for watching. Have an amazing day, alright? Do not forget to smile, and I'll see you in the next one. Boom!